What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Talking Thrones. Today I'm hoping and praying that this video will play properly for everybody that wants to watch it still for the first time. Most of you have probably watched this Melisandre video already, but for some strange reason there was a glitch after I uploaded this video about a week ago. It worked perfectly fine for about 10 hours, then all of a sudden the video would just stop playing in its entirety. Somehow this video went from being 14 minutes long to 16 seconds long. I got a ton of comments from some of you asking me why this video was only 16 seconds long, but I didn't have a good answer for you because I had no idea why. I emailed YouTube and I asked them and they still haven't responded to me, but since so many of you asked me to re-upload this so you can watch it, I figured I would upload it again and hope that it works for those of you that weren't able to watch it when it was originally uploaded. I tried to download the video from my own YouTube page, but when I downloaded it from my page, it was still only 16 seconds long, but thankfully somebody actually stole my video and uploaded it to their own page, and they were lucky enough to have the full original video. So I actually had to download my own video that you are watching now from another channel that stole my video. People are always downloading my videos in their entirety, then uploading them to their own channels to profit, but this is the one time that I was actually happy somebody stole my video because it allowed me to have my original 14-minute version again. I apologize for the rambling about this, but I know some of you asked me about this, so I just wanted to clarify a few things. Also, I just want to mention real quick before the video starts, I am doing a new giveaway and I will be giving away 3 different prizes to 3 different winners this month, so if you haven't entered the giveaway yet, the link will be down in the description. I will be giving away the complete collection of the A Song of Ice and Fire novels, and I'm giving away the World of Ice and Fire novel and the Game of Thrones Monopoly game. If you are interested in winning one of these prizes, make sure you follow the link down below because there are 5 different ways you can enter to increase your chances of winning. But let's get the video started.
I would only be a distraction if I stayed.
So where will you go?
Volantis.
Good. If you don't mind my saying, I don't think you should return to Westeros. I'm not sure you'd be safe here.
Oh, I will return, dear Spider. One last time.
My lady.
I have to die in this strange country.
When I made my video about Arya Stark's hit list, I talked about whether or not we would see Melisandre again because she was on Arya's hit list for taking Gendry away to perform her blood magic. And according to Melisandre, she did say that her and Arya would meet again.
I see a darkness in you. And in that darkness, eyes staring back at me. Brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. Eyes you'll shut forever. We will meet again.
I think there is a very good chance they can still meet again, but I don't necessarily think that means it would be the death of Melisandre, or at least not right away. After I started thinking about what Melisandre's role could be in Season 8, I ended up going back and watching pretty much every one of her scenes to look for any more possible clues that might indicate how she can still be of some use. As we all know, the Great War for the Dawn is upon us, and now that the Night King is south of the Wall, it's just a matter of time before he starts killing everyone in Westeros and adding them to his army of the dead. As of right now, the Night King just brought down the wall at Eastwatch by the Sea, and he is making his way south, as Jon and Daenerys are making their way to White Harbor, where they will then travel north to Winterfell, where they can possibly meet face-to-face with the Night King once again. Jon and Daenerys know they do not have what it takes to defeat the Night King with what they have. That's the main reason why they even went to the Dragon Pit to try and get the support from Cersei to provide her Lannister soldiers for the Great War. But we all know Cersei isn't going to even help them. And not only that, she says she has 20,000 men from the Golden Company coming from Essos as her reinforcements. Jon was able to rally the North behind him in Season 6, but they don't have as many soldiers as they once did, and we still don't know how they are going to react when Jon shows up with Daenerys Targaryen, which is someone most of the Northerners hate considering all the bad blood they've had from the past, so we could possibly see some of the Northerners turn their back on Jon Snow. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I'm just saying it could happen. Daenerys is providing her Unsullied and Dothraki soldiers to help Jon, but we aren't sure how they will be able to adapt to the conditions in the north. The Dothraki are outstanding fighters in the open field, but they have only fought in much warmer climates, so how good will they be when the ground is frozen and covered in snow? And the temperatures are freezing cold as they try to fight across the northern terrain. I don't think they're going to fare as well as they did during the Spoils of War. Daenerys only has 2 dragons left as well, and we have seen just how easily they can be taken out of the sky with just one blow from the Night King's spear. Not to mention, Daenerys said the Night King has around 100,000 whites in his army. I'm not really sure how she came up with that number, but she did have a bird's eye view when she went up north on Drogon, so maybe she could give an accurate estimation. There's a very good chance that Jon and Daenerys can't win this war with what they have. The Night King has a dragon, he has giants, and he possibly has 100,000 whites who are all built to fight in the snow. Plus they still have to worry about Cersei. She still has Lannister soldiers, plus Euron and his fleet that is about to be filled with 20,000 men from the Golden Company. I think in order for Jon and Daenerys to win both of these wars, they're going to need some kind of an X-factor, some kind of outside force that no one would see coming, which leads me to Melisandre. Melisandre could possibly be the key to adding some kind of balance to this great war. This is a Song of Ice and Fire, and that title describes more than just one thing. It has been a theme throughout this entire series, and it's going to play its biggest part in the end of this series too. The Night King has a direct connection to ice. He can actually manipulate the ice into powerful weapons that can take down a dragon with one strike. So we may need something that can manipulate the fire side of things, and create a type of weapon that the Night King cannot stop. Some might say we already have that weapon with the dragons, but I think it's going to take even more than that. I don't think the dragons are going to be the ultimate weapon in the end. Melisandre also has that direct connection to fire. She can actually see things in the flames, and she can even manipulate fire too, which could be just some tricks, but it could be more than that. And she knows she's going to be needed in this great war. She even said as much to Jon Snow the last time that they spoke.
Do you have anything to say for yourself?
I've been ready to die for many years. If the Lord was done with me, so be it, but he's not. You've seen the Night King, Jon Snow. You know the Great War is still to come. You know the army of the dead will be upon us soon. And you know I can help you win that war.
She told Jon that he knows she can help him win this war, but the question is how? What else can Melisandre do or provide to help Jon win this war at this point? I think Melisandre must have some other kind of hidden power that we have yet to see her use. When she first met Jon back when he was the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, she did say something interesting to him that may possibly reveal exactly what she means by being able to help him still.
Do you feel my heart beating? There's power in you. You resist it, and that's your mistake. Embrace it. The Lord of Light made us male and female. 2 parts of a greater whole. In our joining, there's power. Power to make life. Power to make light. And power to cast shadows.
Think about what she actually said right there to Jon. She asked Jon if he could feel her heart beating as his hand was on her chest. She said that he has power within him, but he resists that power. He needs to embrace that power. Melisandre knew that Jon had king's blood, which is why she said together they can make life, make light, and cast shadows. Since Jon has king's blood, Mel could use him to make another shadow baby, just like she did with Stannis when they used this power to kill Renly Baratheon. When Melisandre says she can help Jon win this war, maybe she thinks that they can make another shadow baby together and use it to kill the Night King. But what I found even more interesting in what she said to Jon right there was together they can make light. Now, what do you think she means when she says they can make light together? Could that possibly be another reference to Lightbringer? Melisandre has always been a big believer that Azor Ahai, or the prince that was promised, would be the one to defeat the darkness using a flaming sword called Lightbringer. Azor Ahai is a legendary figure who many believe was the man who forged a hero's sword by plunging it into the chest of Nissa Nissa, which caused it to catch fire. And combining with Nissa Nissa's soul, it created the sword Lightbringer. When Azor Ahai created Lightbringer, Nissa Nissa had to bare her breast first, which is exactly what Melisandre did with Jon in that scene. Melisandre asked him if he could feel her heart beating. That could be some foreshadowing that Jon will need to plunge it into Melisandre's chest to create Lightbringer. Melisandre said they could create light together, so maybe this is the light that she is referring to, the legendary flaming sword. We got a demonstration of this on the beach of Dragonstone back in Season 2.
In the ancient books it's written that a warrior will draw a burning sword from the fire. And that sword shall be Lightbringer.
If you continue watching on the screen, you can see Stannis actually pull the sword from the chest of a burning statue, but as we all know, Stannis was not the one, which Melisandre later admitted. But now she believes Jon is the one, and she may have realized that you need an actual living person to sacrifice themselves in order to form Lightbringer. And Melisandre might know that the person that needs to be sacrificed is actually her, and Jon is going to need to be the one to plunge his sword into her bare chest, and not just some statues on a beach. Melisandre has always said that death by fire is the purest death, and I think it would be fitting if Melisandre actually died by fire too. What better way to sacrifice herself in order for this to happen, considering she has sacrificed so many people? Thoros of Myr said great power requires great sacrifice. This could be why Melisandre knows she has to come back to Westeros and die. Melisandre said she's going to Volantis, but she will be back because she has to die in this country, just like Varys. I talked about Daenerys being Nissa Nissa before, but now that I think about it, I think there is a much stronger case for it being Melisandre in the show at least. If they're going to bring Melisandre back to this country and kill her off, it has to be in some epic fashion, and I think her sacrificing herself in order for the Night King to finally be stopped would be a very fitting way to end her story. She has been preaching about the prince who was promised for many seasons now, and they keep showing us these burning swords, so I think it would make a lot of sense if Melisandre was the one who had to bare her breast one last time for Jon to plunge his sword into her, making the steel combine with her soul to create Lightbringer. They also showed Gilly reading a page straight out of A World of Ice and Fire, and it was actually about Azor Ahai. And when Sam got to Winterfell, he told Bran that he knew Jon was going to be the one to lead the fight against the Night King. So I would be very disappointed if we didn't get some kind of payoff to the Azor Ahai prophecy after they have been hyping it up for years, but this is just my opinion. There is another way Melisandre could possibly help, and I think she might have hinted at this when she met Daenerys in the throne room on Dragonstone. Listen carefully to what Melisandre actually says to Daenerys right here.
The Lord of Light doesn't have many followers in Westeros, does he?
Not yet. But even those who don't worship the Lord can serve his cause.
Daenerys said the Lord of Light doesn't have many followers in Westeros, but Melisandre said not yet, which makes me think more are about to arrive, which could be another reason why Melisandre left for Volantis. The followers aren't here yet because Melisandre is going to get them. Now this all depends on what the show decides to include in their version of this story, but in Volantis, where Melisandre is going, there is a group of slave soldiers called the Fury Hand, and they are the ones who guard the Red Temple of R'hllor in the free city of Volantis. There is a high priest at this temple named Benerro, who is a strong supporter of Daenerys in the books, but in the show I believe they actually gave this role to Kinvara, who was the high priestess that Tyrion brought to Meereen. When Tyrion met with Kinvara, he said he was going to try and persuade her into supporting Daenerys, but Kinvara cut him off and said he doesn't need to persuade her because she already believes that Daenerys is the chosen one, the princess who was promised. And we have still yet to get any kind of closure with Kinvara yet. And now that Melisandre is going to Volantis, there is a strong possibility that they team up together and come back to Westeros with some kind of plan or even a force of the Fury Hand. As far as I can remember, the Fury Hand only consists of about 1,000 men, never more, never less, but this could be a nice addition to help in this war against the Night King. One cool thing about these soldiers are their weapons. They use spears that have a flame on the end of them, the exact opposite of what the Night King and the White Walkers use. Can you imagine seeing the White Walkers and the men of the Fury Hand running into battle at each other? One side with ice spears and the other side with fire spears. I think that would look pretty badass in my opinion. Plus it would be kind of cool having the Night King on one side of the battlefield and having Melisandre and Kinvara and whoever else they bring with them on the other side of the battlefield. We could see people being risen from the dead on both sides, fire wights and ice wights. I would love to see the look on the Night King's face if he saw someone else bringing someone back from the dead. It would probably turn him on and have him thinking that needs to be his Night's Queen. Someone else who has the power to raise the dead. Who knows, but things can get very interesting if we get to see the Red God show its true strength during this War for the Dawn. But before I go too far down tinfoil road, let me just end this video right here. I want to thank all of you for watching today's video. I appreciate that as always, and I hope to see you all come back for the next one. I also want to thank the supporters of this channel from Patreon. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you down in the comment section. Bye.